Hi everyone, my name is Sarah, and I'm going to be doing my information presentation on Perry Nodelman, this guy right here. Okay, so Perry Nodelman was born August 18th, 1942 in Toronto, Canada. Making him 74 in 2017, he will be 75. So we're going to fast forward a little bit because there wasn't too much about his childhood. I couldn't really find, did he like sports? Was he always into reading? Did he always, enjoy children's books? Or did he, that whole ordeal. So we're going to fast forward to about 1969. In 1969, he actually received his PhD at Yale as a specialist in Victorian literature. However, we are going to take that one step back to 1968. In 1968, he starts his career at the University of Winnipeg. He is a professor, an English professor, for 37 years. So he's there from 1968 till 2005. In 2005, Perry Nodelman decides to retire. However, he still sticks around here and there, uses some office space. He uses the library for research and a whole, all that jazz. So what does Perry Nodelman have to do with children's literature? So Nodelman has written a lot of articles, a lot of journals regarding children's literature itself. He mainly focuses on the literary theory as an aspect of children's literature. He believes it is a main factor of children's literature. Perry Nodelman ends up writing a few books about this subject, about literary theory. His first book being Words About Pictures, the Narrative Art of Children's Picture Books. And I'm going to put a picture here. The next book is The Pleasures of Children's Literature. And the last book being The Hidden Adult, Defining Children's Literature, which I'm going to insert here. Now, the really cool thing about all of these books is that either one of them has been used as a textbooks in universities or they've been translated to be used in other countries. So one of these books that was actually used to be translated into another country was actually Words About Picture Books. It was translated to Greek. And then we also have The Pleasures of Children's Literature, was translated to Chinese for the use in Taiwan, as well as into Korean, which I thought was really cool. Perry Nodelman was an editor of two academic journals, one being Children's Literature Association Quarterly, and the other one being Canadian Children's Literature. Now, the first journal that he was an editor at Children's Literature Association Quarterly. He was there from about 1983 till about 1987, so about 4 years. The second editorial position that he had, which was at the Canadian Children's Literature, was from 2004 to 2008, so for about 4 years. On top of being an editor on those two academic journals, Perry Nodelman was also the president of the Children's Literature Association. Right now, he currently serves on the editorial board of Genesis, IRCL, and the Journal of Children's Literature Studies. Now, Perry Nodelman, on top of writing those 4 books that had to do with literary theory, he has also written 4 novels, children's novels actually. The first being The Same Place But Different. That is actually a fantasy, which ends up having a sequel to it. This sequel is A Completely Different Place. On top of those 2 books, he has a comic satire, being Behaving Bradley. And lastly, we have Not a Nickel to Spare, The Great Depression Diary of Sally Cohen. Those books have been published, and a fun fact about The Same Place But Different, he was actually 50 when he published that. Okay, so that is all that I have about Perry Nodelman, that he's 74, he's from Yale, he had 37 years on University of Winnipeg, but not only is he into children's literature through the literary theory, he's also an author, and he's also served on many academic journals and has thoroughly been involved with children's literature. So hopefully you have an insight of who Perry Nodelman is, and thanks for watching.